Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good evening. Hopefully, everyone's having a good Sunday evening, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another Liverpool news episode for you guys tonight. It is, we do have some big news, of course, that's happened through the day. But yeah, of course, we'll be taking a look at a few things in particular. Of course, we're going to talk about last night's game against Manchester United as well. Obviously, Liverpool ending the USA tour. Of course, with a win against Manchester United, which is very, very good in that sense as well. We're also going to talk about the boys are back as well. Of course, all the boys from the Euros and the Copa America returned, of course, today. So we're going to talk and discuss a little bit about that as well. We're also going to talk about Bobby Clark. Of course, that, supposed bid be Salzburg. We're going to definitely talk a bit about that as well and get your guys' thoughts and reactions on it as well. And again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. We're also going to talk a little bit about and discuss, and obviously a 19-year-old Argentinian kid that, of course, I will get the name of now because I've completely forgot his name in my head, but Julio Soler, I think it is. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about him as well. As supposedly Liverpool are going to be entertaining a bid for him in the next couple of days. We'll speak about Joe Gomez's future as well, and we're going to, of course, speak about Fabio Carvalho, and of course Liverpool have rejected a bid from Southampton. That'll be later on in the episode as well. But again, let me know, all of you are in the comments, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well, and all that good stuff as well, because I want to know each and every single one of your guys' opinions in the comment section down below as well. But if you are new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. It's very much appreciated as always. And again, hit the notification bell as well, guys, because again, we do post on the community tab, but again, notifications are a bit weird as well. But again, hit the share button as well, get as many reds in you as possible as well anyway. But I'm just a big up lad, hope you're doing well as well. Saying interesting to see that Fabio Carvalho situation in the next few weeks. I would sell him for 25 to 30 million pounds. We will get on to that a bit later on. We called it, didn't we, the other night, Connor? As soon as the tour was over, we knew there would be bids for Fabio Carvalho. Yeah, 100%. And of course we will get on to that in a moment. But big up Chris as well, hopefully doing well. Also nice to see Joe Gomez potentially staying with us as well. Yes, we will talk a bit about that as well, because again, it is nice to see Joey G going to be hopefully staying with Liverpool as well. But are we getting Soler? We'll get on to that in a minute. John, hopefully doing well, mate, as well. And we might make a proposal for him. Yeah, we'll talk all about that in due time as well. And again, anything you guys have seen as well, then do of course let me know in the comments as well. If anything does break as well while we're live, then again, please do let me know in the comments anyway. But let's talk about last night then. Of course, Liverpool beating Manchester United by 3-0. Of course, obviously goals coming pretty thick and fast, of course, last night in many aspects. Again, beating Manchester United last night. Again, it's always nice to beat Manchester United whenever we can anyway. But of course, goals from Fabio Carvalho, Curtis Jones and Kostas Tsimikas made Liverpool win by 3-0 to end the USA tour with a perfect record. Let's say that as well. And again, another interesting night from the Reds. Again, obviously, again, encouraging signs, I would say. Again, it's kind of like things we learned about Liverpool and Manchester United, but obviously for me, again, very much an indication of how we're going to play over the next couple of weeks, obviously months under Arne Slot, or years. Of course, the double pivot, good to see Ryan Gravenberch get game time. Obviously Ibu get game time as well. It was very interesting to see where Ryan Gravenberch would be in this team. And of course, him in that six, he looked very, very good, of course. But obviously, we're not saying he's going to be Liverpool's number 6 for the upcoming season. But what he did show, again, it was very, very promising in that sense as well. And hopefully, again, the midfield for Liverpool at the moment looks to be our biggest strength, and apart from, of course, the number 6 position that we currently don't have at the football club. That for me is the only true issue with Liverpool's midfield is we do need a recognizable number 6, because again the double pivot, again whoever's going to be playing alongside that 6, there's plenty of good players there. Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, Alexis McAllister as well. Dom Szoboszlai, if he needs to be there. Like, there's so many different variations that we could see against Sevilla, of course, next week, or of course Ipswich on the opening day of the season. And for me, again, we'll speak a little bit about Fabio Carvalho in a little bit, but I thought last night as well, very, very impressive. Again, you can see the implements, and every time Liverpool went forward, we battered Manchester United going forward. There was a bit, there was sometimes, certainly in the first half, that we did concede the odd chance. I think Marcus Rashford should have scored at least one big chance, but big saves from Keller to again make a positive positive saves and so on. And I think, look, of course, in pre-season it doesn't really matter. The result doesn't matter. Of course, obviously you'd like to wind up, if anyone's got Manchester United supporters in their family, of course it's always nice to wind them up and so on. But again, the most important thing for Liverpool is no injuries and, of course, getting minutes in the legs of key players. For me, last night, I think one player that I think plenty of people have mentioned, but I do think deserves a massive shout-out even now, I think is Conor Bradley. I think Conor Bradley last night was immense, kept Rashford pretty much quiet, apart from the once or twice. And again, going forward, looks absolutely brilliant in this Arne Slot system. But again, I think Liverpool going forward in general look brilliant. And again, I know it's pre-season and you don't want to, of course, make it, like, oh my God, Liverpool are so good going forward. But we are. And again, when we talk about that killer instinct, that is what we want. There was a couple of times in the game where Liverpool could have been 4 or 5 up. That's something that, of course, Arne Slot will want to work with. But again, Liverpool creating chances again, and like even in 3 games, we've scored like 9 goals and got not 9 goals, sorry, I think it's like 6 goals, and we've conceded one goal. Even the big chances as well. Like again, Arsenal, we conceded 1 big chance. United, there was maybe 2. And then against Real Betis, there wasn't barely. I think there was 1 in the entire game. Like Liverpool defensively look, the shape wise are a bit iffy at times. But again, when we talk about the system working better defensively, it seems to be the case with that. And I do feel like Liverpool going into, of course, next week when we play, of course, Sevilla and Las Palmas. Hopefully we do see, again, a bit of what we've already seen, but, the next level now going into Ipswich in 2 weeks' time. That's, again, of course, the most important thing is making sure we're ready for Ipswich away as well. Of course, certainly with, like we'll mention in terms of the new boys. Of course, obviously with the boys returning as well, obviously Trent, Joe Gomez, Cody Gakpo, Virgil van Dijk, of course, and these 2 as well, Luis Diaz, and of course Darwin Núñez. As well, Darwin with a big, massive smile as well. Those 2 both returning as well, which again is great to see them back. Of course, many people have asked about Alisson as well. Where is Alisson? Don't worry, Ali will be there Tuesday morning. Then that's when everyone is back for training. I believe he was given an extended holiday. So again, we will see Ali at some point, but hopefully it will be Tuesday as well. And fingers crossed, of course, everyone comes back, all good, all healthy. As well, of course, I'm very much looking forward to seeing the likes of Darwin Núñez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, even Virgil van Dijk in this Arne Slot system. I'm very much looking for next week as well against the Sevilla game. I'm very much intrigued to see how we're going to play with these players coming back in, because we've seen how good we've been with the players that we've currently had away on tour. I'm hoping, now you look at it and you go, look, these players are going to be, make the team now even better with the new system and the new philosophy at the football club. And again, I love to see that. And hopefully we do see now the next step up now in the next week as well anyway. But Fabio Carvalho looks like Coutinho regen. Was a classy performance from us attacking wise, but Manchester United still had their chances, which Slot mentioned afterwards. Yes, he did. He did very much mention them again, and look, what he said was right, and Slot was happy with the goals, he was happy with the result, but I think that's the most important thing. Again, he wasn't happy with certain things in the performance, and look, that's something that we need to work on. But again, obviously, in the next week, we need to, of course, step up. The number 6 position. We know Liverpool are looking for a clear number 6. That I think that's more blatant than ever. With again, Wataru Endo not really being used in the he's being used in preseason, but again, he's only playing half an hour games. He's not really in Arne Slot's plans. That was reported a couple of days back. We quite clearly know Liverpool 1-6. And it looks like the next week is going to be, the breakout in Liverpool's transfer. And so again, if you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you get the notification bell on, because of course, any news that comes out will be live for it as quick as we can. But again, it's more that case of, again, the next 7 days are huge in terms of Liverpool and, what we're going to do for the rest of the season. Look, obviously the transfer window doesn't close in a week's time, but all we're hearing from journalists and reporters that Liverpool are going to advance in the negotiations over the next week, and I'm really intrigued to see who Liverpool have in mind for the 6. A centre back, a left back as well might be an indication that maybe Arne Slot thinks that needs improving. And of course the winger position as well, because like it seems to be like these are the positions Liverpool think they need improving on as well. But I thought Grav worked really hard off the ball. Yeah, I do as well. I really liked his performance last night. Again, top midfielder. Like I think I said it to you guys a couple of days ago. I never got the rumours of him leaving the football club. I never did. I never thought for 1 second him going to Turkey or anything, believing those rumors that were constantly linking him to, I think it was Fenerbahce and so on as well. Never. Sorry guys, a bit of my tongue then. But yeah, no, never. I don't think Ryan Gravenberch will be leaving Liverpool this summer. I'd be very surprised if that was the case as well. But Slot will use Gravenberch as a backup 6 for me. Slot will want a natural DM. I always said Gravenberch, when he came in, has the tools to be a 6. Needs to work on strength for me as well. Again, though, I think Gravenberch alongside a 6 would be perfect. Again, Liverpool have midfielders that can play a hybrid 6. It's Liverpool are not looking for a Fabinho. Somebody to sit in the pocket, somebody to cover ground and cover the defense. Liverpool are looking for somebody who's going to set the tempo, somebody who's got a very good passing range, somebody who can defend and of course cover the ground, but also they can do, again, start the play. Because look how, for example, look at yesterday, for example, or last night, how Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch, again, Curtis Jones struggled a little bit, in my opinion, in terms of, again, the set, and Ryan Gravenberch did at times when, again, trying to set the tempo of the game. And again, it's not now, it's not the fullbacks creating. Again, the fullbacks can create, and even we've seen that over the last couple of weeks, with of course Kostas and Conor Bradley creating chances for Liverpool. But it's not only them now. Again, those two in the midfield, they are the real tempo setters for Liverpool going forward, and even defensively as well. And that's so important that, again, Liverpool have to get the right people in the door as well. But big up Cal as well. Hope he's doing well, mates. Christian Man United fans will be in a meltdown anyway, mate. We don't need to wind them up as well. Yeah, no, I've seen a couple of people having a right go because, again, they lost to Liverpool, which, again, look, it could have been 7-0 if Liverpool took their chances. But again, more on the Manchester United side of things, I thought they were awful. I know it's pre-season, you can't really judge them. They've got a few injuries at the moment, but I don't know. There was just, again, no identity with that Manchester United team. And like I said to you guys, when Lenny Euro signed for them, does not frighten me. Doesn't frighten me, the Man United signed players. Because A, they ruin them. B, look at their manager. And this is just me thinking this, I already think once something goes badly wrong this season, they will sack Ten Hag, 100%, and they've already got the replacement there in Ruud van Nistelrooy. That will be that will be Ineos's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. Temporary manager will take us into next season. If it works out, they'll sign him, and he'll be the permanent manager of Manchester United. I guarantee it. That's exactly what they're going to do. As soon as something goes wrong, they'll sack him instantly. For me, the writing's already on the wall with him anyway. But Talia Albin, big up Gary as well. But one have been consistent on Carvalho. He isn't good enough. Elliott is a 10. Diaz and Gakpo on the wings. 20 million for an average of best 4-3-3, 4-2-3, 4-2-4 as well, says Gary. So we will get on to Carvalho anyway. But anybody know how to watch the National League? Sutton, I'm guessing TNT, Cal. Fabio wants to play TNT, I would say. Again, I would have said, is it Sky Sports Plus? Like now that's now come out, but again, that I think that's Football League. I don't think it's National League. Anyway, but no, TNT. I think for National League, all that stuff as well. But Connor, who starts against Ipswich, have not got a clue. Gary, I have my prediction for it, but again, I wouldn't. Again, I don't know, because again, we might send someone in the next week that automatically starts for Liverpool as well. But where was Alisson today? On holiday. He's still on holiday. He'll be back on Tuesday when the whole team is back. Liverpool are already back, mine in Liverpool, because if anybody watched the training video, inside training video, Diogo Jota was at the training ground today. So Liverpool are back. They're already back from the US tour as well. So again, that's hopefully, maybe we might see something a bit tomorrow, or of course, but Tuesday is the day that everyone should be back at the club anyway. So again, big week ahead as well. But DM is the main position we need to get. Yes, 100%. Big up Stuart as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saying it's a clean slate, as Slot said. Carvalho is in the first team. We must reward performances, otherwise it sets a bad precedent. He earned his spot as well. I think many people feel like that. And again, I cannot argue with that, because look, Fabio Carvalho at the moment has definitely earned his spot in Arne Slot's team. Again, we'll get onto him in a moment as well. But Slot, of course, has already said that, again, he will assess things. He's assessed things at the minute. And if we see any more progression in terms of negotiations, then, again, we'll of course, get to that as well anyway. But we will move on to other bits of news then, and of course I'll get onto the Carvalho stuff a bit later on as well. But Bobby Clark we're going to discuss now as well. So Davo C. Cop of course exclusively revealed, I believe this was 2 days ago, saying that Liverpool have rejected a £6 million offer for RB Salzburg for Bobby Clark. Pep Linders, what are you doing? Why are you taking Bobby Clark off of us? But yeah, so Liverpool have reportedly rejected that bid. Liverpool want between anywhere from 12 to 15 million pounds. Of course, I believe Salzburg's record transfer fee, I think, is 12 million euros, which I think works out about just under 10 million pounds. So, if Pep Linders wants Bobby Clark, they're going to have to dish it out again. But does anyone else find it weird that we're trying to sell, our young talent at the moment? Again, I don't think Liverpool are actively looking to sell Bobby Clark, and I definitely wouldn't say they are trying to. But I don't know. I find it a bit weird that Liverpool are just entertaining bids in that sense. It's like if every player has their price tag this summer. And again, that include like even top level players like Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, for example. It feels like everyone has a price tag under Arne Slot. And of course, Bobby Clark, we saw him last season under Jurgen, progress into the Liverpool team. Again, played in important games, the League Cup final, when he came on in that game, for me, when all the substitutes were made, was one of the best players in the cup final. Forest away as well was really, really huge in that game. Put a real shift in that game. And of course, obviously Pep Lijnders will know, and of course we'll have his information on Bobby Clark as well. And of course, him coming through the academy, I think through Pep Lijnders as well. So again, the rumor is at the moment that Liverpool would want a loan for him. They don't want to sell him. There's a number of Championship clubs looking at Bobby Clark at the minute. I think Norwich, I think even Leeds as well have also been rumored to be interested in him. But again, Salzburg, putting a bid in there. Again, I can't see him leaving unless Liverpool get the 15 million that we're speaking about. Again, I can't see him leaving Liverpool, in my personal opinion, anyway. But I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well, anyway. But we'll shift to the next story as well. And of course, this Argentinian kid that everyone has been banging on about for the last hour as well. So you guys can see him right here. Of course, his name, is Julio Soler. And again, this was from a report earlier. So all about Argentina. Again, you guys would have seen this account, of course, about Alexis McAllister before he signed for Liverpool. But this was just in. Liverpool have inquired about Julio Soler conditions. Lunas value him for $15 million, I think that is, as well, which works out around £11 million as well. He's a 19-year-old kid from Argentina, was in the Argentinian Olympic squad as well. I believe he played 4 games in the Olympics, got 1 assist at the Olympic Games. Of course, obviously, Argentina got knocked out by France. Of course, we all know that situation as well. But I thought it was interesting, again, very much feels like the Andre stuff that we, witnessed, what was it, a season and a half ago, even, it wasn't even a season and a half ago, it was last summer with the Andre stuff. It does very much feel like there's loads of reports coming out in Argentina at the moment as well. Supposedly Liverpool are I'm just reading by on the notes I've got on my phone, saying a formal bid for Liverpool for Julio Soler is expected to come soon, and that's coming out of Argentina at the present moment in time. Again, looking at him briefly, has all the qualities of Andy Robertson: explosive, very good crossing ability, very good passing ability, full of energy. Does lack a bit of strength in that sense, in terms of muscle, but to be fair, for a 19-year-old kid, that's of course understandable. But also, again, 1v1 defending seems to be very, very good as well. Again, I haven't seen much of him. I haven't seen anything of him apart from all the news that came out a bit earlier as well. But I want to know your guys' thoughts, because again, it could be it could be an absolute bargain signing for Liverpool. I think when you do look at this transfer market value, though, it does come up as €2 million, which again, maybe that that's an indication of where he is. But again, if Liverpool getting somebody for £11 million that is going to be the future left back for Liverpool, I think that's also an interesting thing. But for me, if Liverpool do sign him, surely we've got to be getting rid of a left back then, because again, we'll have Robinson or Andy Robbo, we'll have Costas, Joe Gomez, who can play there. We'll have, again, Luke Chambers there, Owen Beck. We'll have about 6 left backs at the football club. Or 6 players who can play at left back anyway. And surely we've got to be letting some of them go if we're going to be signing him as well. But again, I haven't seen nothing on him apart from, of course, all the information that came out a bit earlier. But it does very much feel like an Andre signing or an Andre link then, if that makes sense, where last season Liverpool got linked straight away to Andre. Reports in Brazil saying it was very, very close, and of course the deal never went through. Of course, I think Andre is potentially going to Fulham as well, so that's somewhere else he could potentially go this summer as well. But I do think it's very, very interesting. But again, that's just my thoughts and opinion on it as well. of course, we know Arne Slot likes to work with young players. We know he likes to develop players. If Liverpool, if Richard Hughes thinks he's the guy to come in and be the long-term success for Andy Robertson, then again, I'm all for it, because again, the data most likely shows he's the right guy for Liverpool to go for. And again, I'd be more than happy to do that as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts as well, if anyone's seen anything on him as well. But let me quickly go up, because I've missed a few comments. Let me quickly go up. Chris saying, do you think Jones is a 10, Connor? Because I feel he's been inks when to us 8, no proper DM alongside him. I think he's a box to box midfielder. I don't think he's an out and out 10. I think he's not a Szoboszlai, he's not a Harvey Elliott. I do think he's a box to box centre mid for me anyway. But agree, Connor, about United. When they signed these players, all the United fans only heard of them on FIFA. True, very, very true. South Clan will be waiting Man United job. Don't worry. Obviously Southgate, United fans, he's coming. That would be funny, to be fair. Liverpool probably need a 6 and 3 attackers. 3 attackers. You're right, Gary. 3 attackers. Otherwise, the wingers will be burnt out in 45 minutes. I don't think we need the 3 attackers. I think we need, a Mo Salah cover. If that's Anthony Gordon, then be more than happy. So as I think about it, Slot has had the squad for less than a month, and not even the full squad. Arteta and Erik ten Hag have had their squads for well over 2 years. We had more of a visible style than United easily. Yeah, 100%. I would 1,000% agree with you, my friend. I think look, United don't have any identity. I think going into the season as well, again, the amount of injuries they have at the minute, I think even after the Liverpool game, I think Wan-Bissaka's now injured, which may put his West Ham move in danger. Johnny Evans, I think, went off injured. Casemiro, I think, went off injured, but I think that was just because, Fabio Carvalho sat him down about 3 times in the game. Of course, that young lad that went off as well for United on a stretcher, that didn't look too good neither. So again, they've got multiple injuries to worry about. And again, look at last season, they were awful when they had injuries. Again, it seems to be the exact carbon copy of what's going to happen. Anyway, but big up Chaz was saying he'll be a good squad player for us coming into this season. I think you mean with Bobby Clark, but they as well. Let me know in the comments. But Clark isn't a slot player. We haven't really seen that though. Again, he's been injured. Of course, he's had that back problem, or the Phil Coutinho back problem. But no, again, we haven't seen him in there neither. But is Dan still going to Plymouth? No, as of right now. Nothing new on Jayden Danns. Maybe we might see him against Sevilla next week. But as of things right now, no, I don't think. I don't think Jayden Danns is going to go to Plymouth at the minute anyway. But I would expect a loan for Clark. Same. I very much would assume so. Long time no see, Connor. Big up as well. Big up Ozan as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. 11 million. That's cheap. In today's market, it's cheap. Again, you could potentially, you could potentially go on to, see things where, again, this player's going for 20. Like, look at Chelsea. Chelsea will sign, right? If you say somebody's a wonder kid and somebody was born in 2005, right? Chelsea would buy them for £60 million. That's expensive, Ozan. Very much so, as well. But John saying, have you been caught to right? Yeah, I've seen this stuff again. I don't condone anything. Again, I think I don't really want to speak upon it, because I think the people that are doing it at the minute and the people around the country that are doing it, I think they're idiots. I have my personal view on it, where again, I think if you are a part of the riots, again, you can do other ways to, like, again, like we talk about like the Southport stuff, when it happened and so on. Again, like that whole situation was terrible. Like, again, people just taking the absolute mick when realistically you should have been thinking of those families of those girls that unfortunately died. And again, if we talked about it, if we did it properly, again, we'd be going for hours on it. But for me, I think the people that are doing it at the minute are idiots and stupid. You can do silent protests and peaceful protests if you feel that way. But again, I feel like people are idiots. And like the way the country's going at the minute, again, it's a real shame. It's a real shame, but can probably be negotiated down to 10 mil. Could be negotiated down to a lot more, or hopefully as well. But look, again, if he's the the Andy Robbo regen, I'm more than happy with that as well. But would signing Soler mean either Beck or Tsimikas will leave? I think yes. I do believe that. I think one of them will at least go. I would be surprised if of course, if one of them didn't go. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts. But Chambers going back on loan to Wigan. I saw Beck looks like he could be leaving, whether it's permanent or loan. So supposedly two leaving. Yeah, no, that's also true. I think Owen Beck to Celtic looks very strong at the minute. So again, that might be, of course, a sign as well. But big up, bro, as well. Hopefully doing as well. Buka, I think it is. So I hope you're doing well, mates. But unpopular opinion, one would sell Jota. He would stay fit for 38 games. I'd keep hold of Jota. If you can keep Jota fit, he wins you games. Of football, that's the one for me. But why did we even sign Calvin Ramsey? Calvin Ramsey was good in terms of the data back in 2021. Looked like he could, have been a proper backup towards, towards Trent. But again, just injuries haven't really helped him. Liverpool signed him, and he had an injury that didn't come up in the medical, which again I'm very surprised by. I'd be really interested and really intrigued to see if Liverpool did know about the injury as well. But yeah, it just sadly hasn't worked out for Calvin Ramsey. I think he's on loan to Wigan, isn't he? So hopefully that of course deal works. But this is what I would do. Keep Carvalho, maybe give him a new contract. What do you think? I wouldn't give him a new contract. I think he's got until 2027. But yeah, I do think that we'll get onto the Carvalho stuff. I'll answer that question in a moment. But Lucas Davison not being spoke about much from preseason. Will he be third choice behind Bradley and Trent? Maybe. Again, I could see him going on loan though. Again, Slot may feel like he's got enough cover right back, especially if Joe Gomez is going to stay as well. But meant to say Carvalho will be a good squad player. Oh, there we go. Clark needs a loan, I reckon. Yeah, I would agree. I would be 100% agreeing with it, my friend. Did Nunes get a ban? No, not as of yet. Again, we don't know anything else in terms of international ban. But for Liverpool, I don't think he'll be getting a ban. Now anyway, but the country has been overrun, which I feared would happen. But yeah, again, look, I don't really want to speak about it, but again, just idiots. But Nunes hasn't got a ban, rightly so. He was defending his family. I would do the same. Yeah, 100%. Slot loves runners in wide areas and the midfield. Yeah, 100% he does. Again, this is why I think Anthony Gordon's such a prospect for him as well. But all walks of life should be allowed in the UK as long as British citizenships. Yeah, but look, again, random people getting attacked on the street, stupid. And again, don't really want to speak about it anyway. But again, we could do a whole political channel speaking about it, or any type of other channel if we wanted to. Speak about it anyway, but we'll move on. We'll speak about Joey G then. Joe Gomez, of course, looks like he will stay now at Liverpool. Of course, Paul Joyce, of course, Aussie Fire, and for the sector saying breaking, Joe Gomez is committed to Liverpool and wants to emerge as a key player for Arne Slot. Now, it did go on to say as well, Gomez's reliability is not lost on Liverpool, and while there is an acceptance that every player has his price, there is not a push to part companies at the moment. Arne Slot did contact Joe Gomez during the 2024 obviously Euro tournament, and talks were centered on plans for the forthcoming season as well, which again, I think for me, I think there's a lot for you guys as well. I'm happy that Joe Gomez is going to stay. I know plenty of people are a bit iffy about it because, again, obviously the funds that Liverpool could have generated from Joe Gomez, if Joe Gomez did want to leave, then again, that would have been another option for Liverpool. But for me, like I said at the time, I want to keep Joe Gomez. I think Joe Gomez is a very reliable player for Liverpool. Of course, if he wanted to leave, if he wanted to leave Liverpool and go, of course, to a new club, then of course I think Liverpool wouldn't have stepped in his way. Of course, if that transfer was or did go through in terms of, again, Joe Gomez going to Newcastle and Anthony Gordon coming to Liverpool, but something about it, again, the whole Joe Gomez thing, again, the longest serving player currently in the Liverpool squad. He wants to be playing at centre half. At the minute, does he get ahead of, an Ibu Kanate or Joel Konza? You're not so sure. Again, in every position at the moment, where is Joe Gomez in terms of the rankings? Again, right back, he might be second or third. Well, he's definitely not first choice because that's Trent Alexander-Arnold. But Conor Bradley, he's emerged as a real good understudy for Trent. You possibly would say he's third choice right back. He's probably third choice right-sided centre back at the moment. I'd say he's probably second choice left back in my opinion, behind of course Andy Robertson. I think he's above Kostas Tsimikas in that particular area of the pitch. I think I've said it to you guys. I think last season he was certainly Liverpool's best player in all the positions. Again, played multiple times for Liverpool in different positions. Most consistent player, I think, at the back last year. But again, I can see why people want to potentially maybe let him go. Because again, in terms of the funds, if Liverpool can get 45 million to 50 million for Joe Gomez, then again, that could be spent on elsewhere in terms of a DM or, somewhere else. But I think that, keeping Joe Gomez around, I think wouldn't be the worst idea, in my opinion. I don't know if anyone else would agree with that, but for me, I'm very happy if Joe Gomez is going to stay at the football club. But of course, I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But I can only see Gordon happening if one attacker leaves, in my opinion. I would love if Gordon is added to our forwards, but I reckon Diaz could be the one to leave, says Chris. But Boo says, yeah, Gomez is an important part of our squad for me. Can play different positions in different definitely. I think it's difficult, definitely key. 100%. I will keep Gomez. He is better defender than Trent, says Gary as well, possibly. But I think both Conor Bradley and Trent are above Joe Gomez at right back. But again, that's not saying Joe Gomez is bad, and that's something else that I think people, again, other people as well, when you look at it and say, oh, well, he's third choice there, he's second choice there, he's second choice there. Oh, well, he's crap, then Liverpool should sell him. No, like Joe Gomez is a very reliable player to have. And if he can perform like he did last season, then, again, keep him around because he's a very, very good player. Like Liverpool played at their best when Joe Gomez was at left back last year. And if Liverpool wanted to switch to that, inverting Trent and then bringing the centre back in to create the three at the back, then again, Joe Gomez is perfect for that. And again, keep him for that as well, because last season it worked as well. But what did Chris say? Sorry. I would keep Gomez at the back. Fullback did a great job at left back last season, Mr. Reliable. Yeah, 100%. Gomez needs to stay at fullback for me. He's exposed at centre back. Yeah, he played at centre back against Madrid and wasn't really great in that area, was it? But yeah, Gomez can play across the back four, so definitely keep. Yeah, 100% agree. Back five for me, Alisson Gomez, Van Dijk, Konza, and Trent. So yeah, Gomez left back could be for next season for sure. Gomez is similar to, again, I can't pronounce his name. I keep trying to, but forget it. Vinod. For me, I expect Slow to have that plan for Gomez like he did with Grindiger, is there? Again, apologies for the name. But yeah, Gomez is better at centre back in a back three. No way I'd have Gomez as a centre back in a four. No, for me, yeah, I think Gomez at full back is much better than. Sorry, chat. My nose is itching. At that anyway. But again, he's a solid player at the back four, and again, I'm happy he's going to be staying. Anyway, but we're going to move on then and talk then about Fabio Carvalho in the last story of tonight. Of course, now David Ornstein, the most reliable journal out there, of course, did come out with this report saying that Liverpool reject an offer worth up to £15 million from Southampton to sign Fabio Carvalho. LFC unwilling to sanction another loan plus permanent bids will need to be significantly higher than Saints' proposal. 21-year-old wants to be a regular starter, which he's constantly mentioned to Liverpool. Of course, that he wants to start and of course wants game time, whether that be at Liverpool or elsewhere. Of course, he has said multiple times, though, that again, he sees himself at Liverpool for next season. But this was also interesting as well from, I think, Theo Squares as well, saying that it is understood that barring a substantial offer, Slot has seen enough of Carvalho to believe that he can effectively utilize the versatile forward in his playing squad. So again, I think we said it a couple of days ago, chat, didn't we, that Slot may see Carvalho as a winger, but he can also play him in multiple positions. We've seen that so far on the USA tour, certainly against Arsenal and Manchester United last night. Carvalho was really, really good. And again, you hope that we can get the best out of him. Again, he looks a better player than what he did when he first joined Liverpool, which again, of course, the loan deals to, of course, Leipzig didn't work out that great. Of course, the second half of the season when he went on loan to Hull, it looked very, very promising. But again, I'm hoping that we do see him go to that next level, because I think everyone, when we signed him from Fulham, said he had that next level to go to as well. But I think what's also significant, though, in the Carvalho news is what David Ornstein said. I'll get it back up on screen quickly for you guys. Where it says, but there, that again, obviously, where Liverpool reject an offer worth up to 15 million. So again, it wasn't 15 million up front. It was 50, might have been 12 million plus 3 million in add-ons to take it up to the 15. But as you can see, with it, Liverpool unwilling to sanction another loan plus permanent bids will need to be significantly higher than the Saints' proposal. Now, Russell Martin as well, I think the Southampton coach, of course, did speak about Fabio Carvalho earlier on. I think it was on Sky Sports where he had the interview. Of course, he said that, again, they wanted Carvalho in January but couldn't get the deal done and lost out to Hull. Now, for me, what is a significantly higher bid that Liverpool would accept for Fabio Carvalho? Are we talking 25 million? Are we talking 20 million? Are we talking 30 million? For me, I think Liverpool would sell him for 30 million pounds. I think that's when you look at other players in particular, you look at like the players that are going around at the minute in terms of transfer wise. Again, Smith Rowe going to Fulham for 30 million. Again, Smith Rowe hasn't really played for Arsenal that much the last couple of seasons. You look at Carvalho, still has a high ceiling in that sense. That again, he could progress even more. And again, I think if that was to happen, Liverpool have to have a buyback clause in his contract, or have, of course, if they are going to sell him, of course, have the right then to be the first club. If somebody bids, for example, let's say £40 million, £50 million, Liverpool have the first say in terms of, again, we'll match that, for example, as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts about Carvalho. I think many people will be divided in the Carvalho stuff. For me, I'd like to keep him around. I think he's a good squad option for us. I think, again, I think I said this after the Arsenal game. He doesn't get ahead once everyone's back. In my opinion, he doesn't get ahead of anyone, and that's pretty bad to say. But when you look at it on the wing, he doesn't get ahead of Luis Diaz. He doesn't get ahead of Cody Gakpo, in my opinion. in the 10, he doesn't get ahead of Dom Szoboszlai, doesn't get ahead of Harvey Elliott. But if one of those get injured, or we know how Liverpool seasons work out, he will get game time. But it's all more importantly about him. Can he convince Arne Slot to put him ahead of an Elliott, or Luis Diaz, for example, on the wing? I don't think so, because I think those two players in particular are better than him. But again, if that is the case, and then maybe he would potentially, Carvalho then go, towards the end of the window, go, you know what, I want to leave because I can't really see myself, getting ahead of them two. And again, I don't think Slot or Liverpool would get in Carvalho's way. They'll try and sort a deal out and try and, get that sorted in that sense anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Let me quickly go back up because I've missed a few. Gary Singh, sell him ASAP. Top saying Wiltshire to be sold. No, don't think so. Carvalho should stay, says Gina as well. Hope you're doing well. But for me, Carvalho has had a good chance to start in the future. Could do so, 100%. I think Carvalho deserves a chance. I would also keep Gomez. Canate seems a bit insecure to me in some situations as well. Says Nicola, hope you're doing well as well. But I would keep Van der Berg and Carvalho. They've impressed for me. I think Slot will want to keep them too, especially if they impressed by what but we doing the right thing with the price tags too. Yeah, 100%. Again, Liverpool won't be budged down on it. Like, look, and again, even the Seb Van der Berg one, when Seb Van der Berg price was announced at £20 million, I think everyone thought, Jesus Christ, that's a bit too high. But when you actually look at the market and look at the people that are going for £20 million, Seb Van der Berg is bang on the money. Like, again, people forget Seb Van der Berg had a really, really good season last year for Mainz. Like, and the Mainz owner as well, or CEO, whoever he is, coming out and going, oh yeah, we want Seb Van der Berg, but we can't afford £20 million. Well, you could afford £20 million. It's just you've got rid of El Ghazi because of what he said, and now you've got to pay him of his money. And look, again, Liverpool not going to go, oh, you want the player? Sure, we'll give him to you for what, £5 million that you want? Like, no. Like, someone will buy Seb Van der Berg for £20 million. Easily they will. Whether that be a Premier League team or whether that be a European club as well. But Van der Berg wants to start, doesn't he? Not sure he will, though. I think he'll be used in cup games or lower Premier League games. Don't think he's going to be used. I don't think he's going to start for Liverpool. Because, again, I think the other players are ahead of him. Of course, Virgil van Dijk is ahead of him. Ibu is ahead of him. Cons is ahead of him. An argument could be, is there with Joe Gomez at centre half as well. Seb Van der Berg at the minute is fighting for fourth or fifth, fourth spot in the team, and that's not a hard way of looking at it. Like, again, Virgil van Dijk is Virgil van Dijk. You're not getting ahead of him. Ibu and Konza have their right-hand side themselves. Seb Van der Berg is pretty much the backup for Van Dijk. If Van Dijk needs a rest or needs some time off, then again, Seb Van der Berg is going to be that guy for Liverpool next season. So yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's why I'm not fussed on Elliott. Says Boo as well. But I generally feel there's competition at centre back spots. We need that look at Konza breaking through last season. Yeah. 100%. Well, look, and I will admittedly hold my hands up and go, thank God we didn't pursue Levi Colwill. Like, let's just put that out there. Like, again, I think, what was it? Maybe, over a year ago, we were talking about Levi Colwill, how Liverpool should look to sign him and so on. We already had a really, really top centre-back in the academy called Jarell Konza. And what an absolute unbelievable signing. I say signing, an unbelievable player he's become. And again, he still has loads to improve. He's going to be hopefully at this top level for the next, 10 to 12 years, 13 years, 14 years. And that's scary. That's really, really scary. Because if he continues on the trajectory that he's currently going on, again, he'll be one of the best centre-backs in the world. And that's not me, it's again, bigging it up because he's a Liverpool player. But it's true. Like, again, like, look at how he's performed. He's performed big in every single, away game last season for Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp trusted him that much. He was, of course, he was starting every away game for Liverpool, alongside Virgil van Dijk. Look at Newcastle away. Newcastle away, when we're 1-0 down, he brings on Darwin Núñez and Joel Konza. And Joel Konza, steps up to the plate. And look, unbelievable. We will still go in for a centre-back or have the chance addition at left-back instead. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, glad we didn't go for him, Colwell, in the end. Yeah, 100%. Again, remember when we were getting linked for like £100 million? Like, no chance. Absolutely no chance now anyway. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys, anyway. Big thank you to all of you for tuning in as well. Hopefully you have enjoyed the show. If you're new around here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If there's any news tomorrow, or again, 9 p.m. we normally live, guys, unless, of course, there is anything breaking. Of course, we'll post about that as well. So if you're not following us yet on Twitter or X, wherever you want to call it, then go and do so. The Cop Council on everything, on every single social media platform. So go over, hit the likes, hit the subscribes, follows, all that good stuff as well. Anyway, but Boo saying Konza could be VVD's replacement, saving us millions. Yeah, you could, 100% you could. As well. But yeah, if you are new, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and all that good stuff as well. But yeah, if we have any news tomorrow, fingers crossed, there might be something. Of course, we'll be live anyway. But if not, there will be an FPL show. I've promised the FPL show now for a week. But yeah, that will be tomorrow if there's no news. So make sure you hit the notification bell, hit the like button, hit the share, hit the subscribe button, and all that good stuff. Anyway, but until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.